Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Death Note Month. If there's one thing I get requests to talk about endlessly, it's this absolute gem of a series. And I understand, most YouTubers tend to ignore Death Note for more recent anime. And that's why I decided to do this. For the entire month of June, I'm sharing my love of the Death Note franchise, from lists to theories to genius anime tunes and maybe even a surprise or two. I sincerely hope you're excited because I am. And on the topic of lists, I decided let's start the month off strong and talk about my favorite moments in Death Note. Oh boy, is Death Note chock full of some of the most thrilling and fun moments in all of anime. Far too many to count, in fact. If there's one thing to describe its scenes, it's enthralling. So, to start off the month right, let's discuss my top 5 favorite Death Note moments. And hey, there's literally tons of amazing moments, so if you have some favorites, how about you mention them in the comments below? Trust me, I read all of them and I love hearing opinions on these types of subjects. Anyways, without further ado, let's dig right into the top 5 Death Note moments. So if there's one thing I think we can all agree on, it's that Death Note knows how to set up the stakes in such a way that the entire story feels like a roller coaster. Showing off Light's intellectual abilities and thinking was certainly interesting, but I think the series truly got started with a bombshell of a scene. L, being the world's best detective, attempts to bait Kira out, and oh boy does he. In a matter of moments, he's able to coax Light into killing a criminal, not L himself in fact, and reveal that Kira may just be in Japan. He managed to fake out Light by saying it was a worldwide broadcast and immediately took the upper hand in the Kira case. And man, was it an insane way to start off this roller coaster of a plot. Not every amazing scene needs to be extremely depthy. In fact, sometimes the best kind of scene is one that's memorable for a completely different reason, and in this case it's completely going against the tone you'd expect from the series. The memers want it, the fans have mentioned it, and here it is.
I'll take a potato chip and eat it.
I think it's hilarious that not only did he say this line, but he said it with the most intense voice possible. That in and of itself makes this scene absolutely perfect, even if it's mostly remembered for how absolutely ridiculous it is. So, you know how the last entry was a bit out of place in the series? As in, the tone of it felt really strange but managed to be hilarious because of it? Well, who would have thought that a tennis match between L and Light would be simultaneously the most unfitting and extremely fitting scene it could ever be? Seriously, this is a case where, though the absurdity of a tennis match in Death Note should in essence seem really out of place, this tennis match isn't just a tennis match. It's a mind game. Both of them are trying to psych and figure each other out, and this is in the middle of a tennis match, for crying out loud. Only a series like Death Note could turn a simple sport into a serious contest of the minds, and I absolutely love it for that. As you watch through Death Note and see more of L's shenanigans, you begin to realize that maybe L is willing to do just about anything to catch Kira. And this attitude happens to lead to one of the most insane meetings any two rivals could have. After acing the test alongside Light, he sits down right next to him, looks him dead in the eyes, and basically says, "I'm L, by the way." Think about the insanity of this scene. You have a character previously known for staying out of the field, meeting with the god of the New World himself, Light Yagami. And he thinks absolutely nothing of it. He just says it in the most calm and collected way humanly possible. It was at this point that I knew that this anime wasn't just going to be good, it was going to be one of the most insane rides I've ever been on. This wasn't just a meeting of the two rivals, it was L sitting down and saying, "No, I'm taking this fight directly to Kira, and there's no way I'm gonna give up." Too bad things didn't turn out quite as he would have envisioned. Watching plans come to fruition can be both a good and a bad thing in some cases, and Death Note is no exception to this. Sure, I'd argue the eventual fate of L was a moment that definitely did hurt a bit. There's another moment where a plan came to fruition that goes well beyond expectations. After losing his memories, Light initiates an insane plan that spans literal months. Just as you begin to wonder if Light will ever get the Death Note back and regain his memories, it all comes to a head. After cornering the previous Death Note owner, Light finally gets his hands back on the notebook. After such a long period of time where you weren't really sure what would happen, seeing Light finally regain his memories and get the upper hand after a plan that was, simply speaking, absolutely nuts, is one of the most satisfying things I've ever witnessed. And it easily takes the top spot as my absolute favorite Death Note moment. I hope you enjoyed. And hey, we probably have some differing opinions, so why not share your top 5 in the comments below? I'm eager to hear your thoughts on the topic, and trust me, I'm gonna read your comments. And hey, while you're at it, why not check out some of my other Death Note content, like my theory on the fate of Light, or perhaps the live stream I did with Manga Explained, which basically just ended up being talking about how hot Misa was after a while. Or heck, check out my L's Theme is Genius video. Take your pick, and I'll see you later.